you have a car. You take care of your car. But when you please the car, are you pleasing you? No. Similarly, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that yantra mudai maya. You're riding in a machine, the body. But you're not the machine. The spirit soul is riding in that machine. Made of material energy. So the mistake is that you're identifying with material nature. And that's why there's suffering. But Krishna has already given so much information that you're not material nature. But we persist in our identifying with material nature. And that's why we suffer. It's like someone who's having a nightmare and won't wake up. And Krishna's always trying to wake you up. It's not real. Come out of the dream world. Connect with me. But we are very stubborn and proud. Krishna's trying to wake us up. And what do we say? No time, no time. First I have to get married. I have to pay mortgage, pay loans. When I'm 60, I'll start to listen to you about how to wake up. You see the problem? And then when the inevitable distresses come, we point the finger at Krishna. Why? If you are the supreme controller, why did you allow this? Like a son who blames the father. Did you know that the prisons in Australia are full of young people who blame their parents? Why did my parents discipline me? Why did they let me do whatever I liked? But in Krishna's case, he is doing everything to educate us. But we don't want to listen because we have no time. We have come to this world to enjoy. Born to enjoy. But Krishna tells you in Bhagavad Gita, don't do it. Don't go there. Krishna says from the highest planet of Brahma down to the lowest planet in the universe, all are places of misery. Even Australia. Krishna tells you, forget the infrastructure. It's misery everywhere in the universe. But no, we are determined to pursue material happiness. Therefore, there must be material distress. But for the liberated soul, material distresses and happiness come and go. But the liberated soul understands, I'm not the body, I'm not material nature. You cannot kill the soul, and you cannot kill the happiness of someone who understands their spirit soul. This is what Arjuna is demonstrating as a family man and as a warrior. Other points? Yes?
You said the pathway to happiness is, to live simply, to your bare minimum needs.
I said live simply. I didn't say bare minimum. Okay. Everyone's bare minimum is different. So,
okay. Well, if
some families think the bare minimum is to have 2 cars. Another family thinks the bare minimum is to have no cars. So just live simply. Simple living means never compromise your spiritual development as the number one priority. That's living simply. If you can do that as a millionaire, fine. If you can do that as an engineer, fine. If you can do that as a hairdresser, fine. But never compromise your number one responsibility for spiritual development. That's living simply. We have millionaires who are practicing bhakti, Krishna consciousness, and we have taxi cab drivers who are practicing Krishna bhakti. But if they're simply living in such a way that their spiritual development is the number one priority, then they are living simply. Okay?
I think that answers my question.
I hope so. Thank you.
Mine too. Thank you.
All right. We have here, right before you, young Krishna Bhaktas following Krishna's instructions. They're working in banks, they're working in IT. You think they're just sitting in a cave all day with their beads? You see Jai Satchidananda in the front there, he works in a bank. He's not in lotus position all day long. And you have Nityananda Priya in the front here. He works in IT. He's not, on top of a mountain in the Himalayas, and he's flown in just for this retreat. He doesn't even have a long white beard. He has a wife. She's right by the door. Vasudha Mataji. See? He's not a sannyasi in the way that you think a sannyasi is. He has a son. Where's the son? Is he here? Or he's out playing. So, please change your conceptions of what Krishna is talking about in Bhagavad Gita. Because we like to dismiss it. Oh, Krishna is speaking for the sadhus, for the brahmacharis. But we live in the real world. Well, you saw the real world on that documentary, didn't you? So to be competent, truly, to be expert, truly, you have to know how to handle material happiness and distress. And Krishna says, rise above it. How do you rise above it? By connecting to Krishna through devotional service, doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. For you then, there's no loss and there's no gain. It's all Krishna's. Like a cashier at the bank. Anyone ever been a bank cashier? Part-time, full-time? Anyone? Oh, yes? No. Have you ever been a cashier at the bank? Yes? And so do you have any idea how much cash you transacted during the day? How much? A couple of 100,000 rupees. Did you take any? You just did your service, right? So similarly, the Krishna Bhakta deals with so many things on behalf of Krishna, just like a cashier. Family, work, career, home. But you always think, I'm not the proprietor. This is Krishna's energy. Let me use the energy for Krishna's pleasure. Just like when she's working as a cashier at the bank. She's doing everything for the pleasure of the bank. She doesn't take a paisa for herself. You get it now? Yes?
I wanted to ask two things.
Can you try one?
Yeah. Number one, I've heard, as I said yesterday, that we all are prisoners. Is that correct?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we are.
Why?
Because of the conditions, and we feel we are miser most of the times.
Let me ask you this. Did you ask to be born? Do you remember asking to be born?
No.
Do you remember asking to be born in a particular family, to particular parents?
No, I didn't have a choice.
Did you choose your location? Did you choose your gender?
No.
Well, isn't that imprisonment?
But then,
Did you choose to be Indian?
no.
This all just happened, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then it was said,
And when you became 11 or 12 years old, did you choose for the hormones to change? It all happened. Isn't that imprisonment? Okay, so you answered your own question.
yeah. One more thing. Then I heard that Krishna has sent us on this earth to punish us. There was a CD which I heard that we've been doing something wrong back in the spiritual world. So he told, go back to the material world and do your, like you want, we should correct ourselves and come back to Him once we realize that we are doing the right thing?
This material world is rehabilitation. Alright. The prisoner should become reformed. But what do we see it as? No, this is a place of enjoyment. Krishna says, Dukkalayam Shashvatam. This is a place of misery, it's temporary. And what do we say? No, Krishna, you got it wrong. Sukkalayam. This is a place of happiness. With my career, I'll be happy.
Yeah, you've got the wrong notion.
Huh?
You've got the wrong notion there.
Yes.
We've never been told by our elders, nobody told us.
Krishna is the supreme elder. He's always telling you. Now you are listening. So now your life can change. So we're not saying to drop your career, drop your job, don't get married, don't pay your mortgage. We are saying learn how to do all those things just like Arjuna did. That's the secret of Bhagavad Gita. How to do everything in connection to Krishna. All right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I think we're at our time for ending this morning session. I hope that you all are thinking deeply about these things. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.